I was being manipulated and they're not following through with their original agreement.
Manipulated by whom?
She broke these laws.
She being whom? Ma'am, I'm going to have to stop you because I'm not clear what you're talking about.
Well, I think that there's
I'm as lost as you are with this, Judge. Ms. Malik has called my office and left over 120 voicemails. She's made threats against my bar license. She's made threats against my family. She's made threats against my office staff.
Why am I?
Ma'am, you have interrupted me numerous times.
I'm sorry.
That needs to stop.
Could you please, a little courtesy where this is concerned, please?
You've not granted me any courtesy in terms of your talking. Why should I grant you any?
I feel swindled.
This has got to be one of the wildest hearings I've seen in a long time. This Karen strolls into court like she owns the building and just flat out refuses to shut up. Judge Simpson snaps at her multiple times, but nope, she keeps running her mouth, throwing shade, and acting like the judge is just some random guy she's beefing with on Facebook. Finally, he's had enough and boots her straight out of the courtroom. And get this, the only reason she's even here is because she's a squatter who flat out refuses to move out. Honestly, I think Judge Simpson gave her way more patience than she deserved. If it were me, I'd have tossed her out in 2 minutes flat. What do you guys think? Was the judge being too lenient here, or was this the right call? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's dive into this insane hearing where Karen finally gets humbled in front of everyone.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I don't know.
I'm looking for every great recommendation I can receive from you today, sir. I have been in a very horrible, assaultive position.
Okay, let me
left your...
Hold on a second.
Okay.
State your name for the record.
Danette Malik.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Malik.
Well, I entered your courtroom honorably last year at this time. I came in as a plaintiff.
Okay.
And when I swore in, I gave some information about one company, Akram Rashid, merging with a new owner. At that time, I, the customer, was not given the respect, nor any other tenant in my building, underneath the laws to meet this person as a consumer. It is of complete responsibility for a new company to acquire the permission of the tenant, where money is concerned, to enter a good consumer relationship. This did not happen. Time proceeded, and this maintenance company decided to enter person's property with no permission, started to manipulate them, stealing possessions, stealing automobiles.
Hey, ma'am, can I ask you something?
Sure.
Is this your motion to set aside the judgment?
Well, I did set it aside, and we met that agreement. An attorney named Kevin Callahan sat in a court with me as a plaintiff. According to the law, there are no attorneys allowed. So I tried to motion in at the end of August because I recognized...
Hold on, no attorneys allowed where?
When I first met with you, Your Honor, I went into a small claims, and I was underneath the impression through the courses of the law that there were no attorneys allowed in a small claim. So something kind of got jangled up. I presented charges.
Ma'am, hold on. Okay, because I want to make sure that I've got everything in front of me. Was there a small claims case?
Yes, and at that time, we made an agreement.
Go ahead.
That after August, which was Akram Rashid's current lease, that there were not supposed to be any changes to, yet that wasn't the case. I would be on a month to month. I raised my right hand. Kevin Callahan, yourself, and I made that agreement. He swore to me, my mother, which then reported it to my banks. I reported it to my private attorneys in New York City that managed my work. And I contacted the courts. I talked to him verbally over the phone from his office in St. Clair Shores. And he stated to me that I swear, you're gonna receive that sheet of paper. I waited. And I waited and I waited. Spring and summer came to fruition, and I called the courts. It's getting, later in the year. Where's the sheet of paper? It was as easy as that. There was no failure of me to make the payment. I still have the finances set aside. I feel like they are trying to retaliate against me because I've continued to make reports.
Retaliate? Against you? The same person who hasn't paid a dime in rent and is treating a month-to-month lease like it's a Netflix subscription. Make it make sense, because I'm honestly struggling here. This lady is serving full chihuahua energy. Loud, jittery, and absolutely convinced she runs the room. Age doesn't even matter at this point. Some people hit adulthood and just never upgrade past toddler logic. Drop it in the comments. What dog breed do you think fits this Karen? Right now, I've got her pegged somewhere between a yappy terrier and a hairless show poodle with a raging superiority complex. And let's not forget the real MVP here, the poor lawyer at the bottom of the screen. My guy looks like he's trying not to scream while being forced to co-sign pure nonsense.o, and quick legal reality check. Retaliation? That only counts when you've done something protected under the law, not when you've been a nightmare tenant streaming Netflix on unpaid Wi-Fi.
Which is my sole discretion. I have the right to do that. Between the Michigan State Police that were called on numerous occasions by other.
Ma'am, I'm going to have to stop you because I'm not clear what you're talking.
Well, I think that there's a position here where there's charges that he wanted to dismiss, but because he did not fulfill the obligation that he promised me, by August, I was being manipulated, and they're not following through with their original agreement.
Manipulated by whom?
I, yourself, and Callahan, last January coming into February. We sat in the Zoom conference. I presented the paperwork that was unorthodox.
Judge, if I may, I have information
owner.
on this. I can.
And this change of ownership will not affect your lease agreement. She put unless otherwise indicated in your current signed lease. Well, unless otherwise means I can't do what I'm claiming I'm going to do. She broke these laws.
She being whom?
EJ, Elizabeth Jefferson, who claimed to be a property manager that no one had ever met. There is no legible address. The Attorney General states that she's not a registered or licensed person. The federal offices told me not to be in business with them.
Ma'am,
Yep.
I'm going to tell you right now, you've lost me.
From the very beginning, I presented, the first time I came in to see you, I presented both pieces of paper.
Ma'am, stop for a moment.
Okay.
I had them pull a small claims case involving yourself against Bell Management.
Yeah, they did things that were illegal. Fair housing.
Ma'am, that was over a year ago. I would like to say I absolutely remember that,
Yeah.
but I don't.
I'm in dismay myself, sir, because I made that agreement with you. I clearly don't allow a judge or myself to be taken advantage of by an attorney's office.
Well, I don't know that I've been taken advantage of.
I believe I have been.
Okay.
I would not enter your courts to present this witness information as very
Ma'am, stop for one moment.
Okay.
Let me hear, I've heard from you for a while. Let me hear from the other side.
Okay.
Mr. Callahan.
Thank you, Judge. Kevin Callahan, P78273, representing Bell Asset Management. The matter that Ms. Malik is speaking of was a previous matter, a small claims matter that was filed against my client in conjunction with a non-payment of rent matter that we filed against Ms. Malik. Those matters have been decided. Those matters are closed. It has no bearing on this matter whatsoever. This current case, Ms. Malik even admitted she's on a month-to-month tenancy. We provided a 30-day notice to Ms. Malik. She never showed up to court, so a default judgment was entered back in October against Ms. Malik. We subsequently filed a writ of eviction. That writ was signed by Your Honor, And now we get this motion to set aside that default 2 months after the default was entered, alleging that no attorney present and it was against her rights. And I'm as lost as you are with this, Judge. There's no basis to set this judgment aside. Ms. Melick is a month-to-month tenant. She has to vacate the property. However, I will say for the record, because I'm not going to let my reputation possibly be besmirched on the record here of doing anything illegal or improper, Ms. Melick has called my office and left over 120 voicemails accusing me of crimes under the federal law that don't exist, made threats against me, my family. Ms. Melick, I allowed you to speak. Please allow me to speak. She's made threats against my bar license. She's made threats against my family. She's made threats against my office staff. It has been deplorable what my staff has gone through with Ms. Melick over a situation that is a simple month-to-month termination, and Ms. Melick refuses to leave the property, Judge.
So let me get this straight. This high-ranking, polished good rep lawyer is standing there saying Ms. Perfect Karen, who claims she's never done a single thing wrong in her life, is actually out here threatening him, harassing staff, and flat-out refusing to leave the property. Yeah, that math ain't May thing. Almost like, brace yourself, she's been lying the whole time. Shocking, I know. Honestly, I feel bad for anyone stuck dealing with human barnacles like this. Squatters who've turned tenant rights into some twisted game of legal Pokemon. Gotta stall them all. They drag their feet, file nonsense paperwork, and suddenly act like victims of some grand conspiracy. And here's the kicker. In some states, you literally can't just toss them out. Nope, you've got to crawl through months of red tape first. They're like slugs, slow, sticky, and impossible to shake off, but way louder, way more entitled, and somehow protected by housing laws written back when reality TV wasn't even a thing.